What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So grab a stick, grab a glass of whatever you're drinking, sit back, relax, and let's have a conversation. I got some folks in the building with me today. I got Corey Love. I got Dre. What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling today, man?
What's going on, Stone? Smoke World.
Yeah, Smoke World. What's going on? It's your boy Andre, a.k.a. Mr. Oso Dudley himself, in the building.
What's the deal, fellas? So what's going on, man? How y'all feeling? What's happening? Talk to me.
Good, man. Just hanging out, trying to relax and unwind, keep a little bit of sanity.
Yes.
Oh, man, you definitely got to do that with all what's going on, man. Let's think about this, brothers. Now, I got Corey here, who's obviously the operating owner of Cigar Lounge, making moves, doing things. So, let me ask you a question, brother. On the other side of this thing, what do you think it's going to look like for the lounge as far as the social distancing and all that's concerned? What are the steps and procedures that you're taking to ensure that, all your members and your guests are safe and everything? What's going on with that? Talk to us.
Most things, man, I'm just waiting for the people to show up, and then I'll deal with that accordingly. I mean, I'd like to think we'd be busting at the seams, but some people have taken extra precautions. They're a little bit afraid still, so we'll see. I mean, we got some things set up, some ramifications set up. We'll definitely be sanitizing everything that's normally communal, as far as the cutters and stuff like that. We won't have out, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best to see what we can get to a level of normalcy that we used to for the cigar experience.
Well, that's what's up, brother Dre. I hear you got your assistant, brother Corey, there at the lounge making moves and making sure everything is going smoothly. So talk to us. What have you been up to, man? How you making out?
I'm just great, like I said, just been grinding out, same as Brother Corey, and we just want to make it safe for everyone, come back to the Cigar Lounge, enjoy themselves, and have that same experiences, they've, had before, maybe even better.
Oh, that's what's up because, again, like I said, folks are, in a rush to go back to the lounges, the bars, and the restaurants. But it's going to have a different face. Folks have to keep that in mind as far as what's going to take place, how's that going to look, as far as the 6 feet, social distancing compliances and things of that nature. But nonetheless, I think we'll get through this and we'll make moves. Like you said, we'll get through this. But, I'm just trying to figure out what everybody was doing, man. So, what you guys been up to since this whole thing? What you guys been smoking at? What you been drinking? You've been smoking outside. You've been smoking in your car, smoking in the house. I'll let whoever want to take that and run with that.
Oh, yeah. Me, Mr. Oso Dudley himself, me, I like to dabble into a little bit of everything. I like to explore my horizons when it comes to the smoke. I've smoked bottom of the barrel cigars and top of the line cigars, Cubans and things of that sort. But, everything's been great. But, like I said, when it comes to the drinking, I'm kind of the same way a little bit. I've dabbled into the lower end and the higher end, but I like
you
good
making moves
and
then.
whiskeys.
You making moves. You got big money then. See, I'm a guy who, anybody who knows me like to laugh and jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a what we call economical type of individual.
Exactly.
My chillin' mooses, my chillin' moose too. I can't afford those Monte Cristos and the Davidoffs and all that. So, I go where I can fit in. I don't get too carried away with anything. I just go ahead and make moves and smoke what I can smoke. And that's the thing with the cigar, the cigar life. If you enjoy the cigar, that's what's up. You enjoy it and, you move on. You can't always be in the legal provider window every day, but every now and then you got to treat yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's all about a vibe.
Yeah, for me, for the most part, I smoke a little bit of everything. I have enjoyed a lot more Cuban coffee. It's one of the events that we'll have at the lounge, a Cuban coffee event. It'd be closed off. It'd be a private, small, intimate setting. Trying to curate the experience for the cigar smokers. And Cuban coffee has no cream in it. Just a mixture of sugar in the first press from the coffee itself. I'm really not a huge drinker. I'm a social drinker, so I got to be around the fellas and sit back and relax. Recently we did some Balvenie 14 Caribbean cast. Tonight we've experienced some Glenfiddich 14, which was out of a bourbon barrel. So just whatever, just trying to get some level of decency and try to forget about all the cares of the world. I mean,
Yo, we got to show mad love.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, we appreciate you bringing that through here tonight. That was an excellent drink. If you haven't tried that, definitely go and try that out because, again, that's what this is all about, the experience. We try to share with the listeners, some new experiences and try to give them something. If they haven't tried it, we, encourage you to try some different things, whether that be cigar or the drink. That was an excellent drink. Where did you pick that up? That's not a particular thing. That's something that you can find in a retail store, right? That's
Yeah,
not
you
like,
absolutely can find it in a retail store. It's probably at most Total Wines, but I got a buddy of mine who runs Christiana Wine and Spirits locally. But for people that are around the world or abroad, Total Wines and most liquor stores have it. It's a single malt Scotch, casted in a bourbon barrel. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was excellent. That was beyond pretty good. That paired well with my cigar tonight. We're just sitting here chilling, folks. You know what I mean? Just doing what we do, and we just coming to you from a different perspective. Again, just curious to know, your insight on what is this going to look like on the other side, because that's an important factor. Because again, a lot of these lounges are membership lounges, and it may not be the same of what you're used to. So you got to be patient. Another thing you want to do is support the brick and mortar stores, folks, because the fact that, we were kind of limited on what we can get as far as smoke. So we were probably all ordering online, getting the cigars from whatever various online retail businesses. But now that the brick and mortar stores are opening back up, let's support these brick and mortar stores. It's important that we do that. These are family owned businesses. These are the places that was our support system that we go to enjoy a cigar, enjoy our folks, enjoy a drink. So don't forget to go back once these establishments do open up. I understand that, they might not be up to capacity as far as what they can do, but let's go back out and support the brick and mortar stores. That's important. That's one of the key things that we got to do. We got to do.
And, Stone, I mean, with that being said, the things that we've had to modify, we're now adjusting to. So we're still doing mail orders. We're still doing curbside assistance. We're still thinking about right now actually implementing delivery services because we won't be at capacity and volume to actually give some of the lounge attendants an opportunity to make some money and things of that nature. So we're looking to accommodate, however, because, we got some people that would still say, oh, you know what, I kind of want this still, but I don't want to come get it. I don't want to be around people. And they're smoking in their garages or in their cars, or like some people are fortunate enough to have a lounge or some place they can smoke in the house. So we're trying to accommodate the consumer as best as possible.
Absolutely. Brother Jay, you've been real quiet back there, brother. What's going on, man? You had too many drinks. Talk to us,
Oh,
man.
no.
What's up, baby?
I've been tuning in, but, I agree with my brother Corey. We're trying to accommodate the customer and consumer and giving them the opportunity to, make it good for them. And we were trying to give them the customer service that they want and need in this, pandemic that we're in right now. And, we want to make them happy and give them all the quality product that they need in this time.
I mean, at the lounge, that's one thing that we pride ourselves on is customer service. And, luckily my partner and I were able to keep the best quality cigars in the industry on our shelves. So shout out to the whole cigar staff who bust their tail, for lack of better words, day in and day out, and supporting the brand. Posting cigars and just trying to touch the people and give them a sense of transparency to make them feel what was one point in time normal. We just see whoever you wanted to see, and it's become a little bit distant. But we're trying to still give them who we are through social media forums.
Oh, that's what's up. Now, what else has been going on, fellas? We're not going to talk about the gloom and doom and the pandemic, but so much. Have y'all been watching movies? Have you been drinking more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? I know you. I know, Corey, you
man.
turned me on to some stuff, Extraction.
Oh, my goodness.
And I talked about that in my last podcast. I gave my top 3 Netflix movies, which was Extraction, Money Heist. And I told folks, Money Heist starts off a little slow, but if you can stick with it, it does get a whole lot better.
It's funny because we have movie nights at the lounge. Ironically, guys, when we're done, finished for the night, it's 2 a.m, and we want to sit back. We normally cut on a movie, and we've watched like Scarface.
Oh yeah,
You know,
good movies.
Goodfellas. And when you smoking a cigar and watching a classic movie like that, it's just something about it that we can't really explain. You got to kind of experience it for yourself. So that's one of the events that we're going to have at the lounge.
Right.
It's going to be a midnight smoke. You know,
That's what's up. That sounds hot. Now, folks, listen. Cigar Lounge is in Wilmington. Give them the address so folks know exactly, so they don't have to Google all this, even though Google's your friend. Give them the address of Cigar Lounge, because the episode I did with you, we spoke about the lounge, but we didn't give the address. Please give the address to the people so they can come visit Cigar Lounge. It's in downtown Wilmington. It's an excellent lounge. You will love it. Please give them the address, brother.
the address to Cigar is 1624 North DuPont Street. And we'd like to say right in the heart of Charlie Square. It's literally behind Kelly's Logan. Adjacent from Kelly's Logan House and behind Catherine Rooney's, next to CR Hooligans. It's one of the allures. Our members are allowed to get food from the local areas, bring food in. We share pizzas from up the street at Chow Pizza. But it's a very, very poppin' town. I mean, it hurts me to see their patios clear and their decks clear, because these guys have nice decks and patios and accommodation for their guests when they come, and it's just, I can't wait to see the people walking their dogs, and you'll see people running and jogging, and there's a yoga spot behind us. They're always with their yoga mats and stuff. So
Definitely.
it's really exciting to see. But back to the movies, man. Maria is a great movie. Close is a great movie. For me, myself, I like to watch movies that are exciting and a lot of gunplay and action packed.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of guy I am. I like action-packed
Yeah.
movies. You know what I mean? I'm not down with the romantic. Let me say this. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm not saying I'm not down with that. But when I go to movies, I want to be entertained.
Right.
I'm not necessarily trying to go there to cry and watch all this and have, a bunch of Kleenex in my pocket. I'm trying to see some gunplay.
Right.
I'm just trying to see some action, some stuff jumping off, some shooting.
Right.
Something exciting, man. I don't want to fall asleep. Because, back in the day, for whatever reason, I was falling asleep in movies, brother. You know what I mean? The only time I woke up was when I heard some gunplay.
Right.
So, I'm hoping that folks understand that, right now, where we've been and where we're going to, you need some action in your life. Because you've been sitting at home, and I mentioned this on the last interview with one of my guests, that most folks' livers are going to follow PFA. If they don't know what PFA is, that's a protection from abuse, because you've been drinking too goddamn much. Your liver's like, yo, slow down. You're smoking 10 cigars a day. You're drinking bottles of liquor. Your spouses are saying, look, what is wrong with you? You walk around the house with your pajamas on. You claiming you on Zoom. You're drinking water. You got kids in the background on Zoom. Come on, folks. Get some etiquette when it comes to this Zoom thing. It is an etiquette, because this is a professional place. And you got kids running around, you drinking water, you standing up, you walking around with the phone. Right. Those are violations.
So, Stone, when you bring up family, I've been watching something on Hulu called Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck is in it. It's a NYPD movie.
Right.
I was a little bit reluctant to watch it because I was a big New York Undercover fan. But, they do not let you down. Every episode, and Andre's caught a couple of them with me at the spot.
I've definitely caught a good amount of episodes. I've been tuned in. Ever since he introduced it to me, I was like, this
He was like,
is
yo,
the
I'm going to
bomb.
be in and out. Like, he came one time to come through to say what's up, grab a stick. He thought he was going to leave. He's like, what's this? He sat down for a second. Next thing you know, 3 episodes in, he's watching Blue Bloods. But Blue Bloods is amazing on Hulu. Shout out to Tom Selleck, who's been in the acting game for a while. He's the lead guy. He plays the police commissioner of New York Police Department. And his character has high integrity, even if it means his family, his kids are on the force in some kind of way in policing. But he plays by the rules. He even suspended his son one time. So it's definitely
I got to check that out. I
series
haven't
you gotta
seen that yet. I definitely got to check that out. Blue Bloods, folks.
Blue
You know what I mean?
Bloods.
Check this on Hulu. And I have Hulu hooked up with my carrier through Sprint, which they like to charge you like $1 million a month. You know what I mean? Just like Comcast and the rest of these robbery homicide division.
It's a bunch of
type
You got to get him a
spots.
fire stick.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's the reason why we all got Amazon, the Prime, the Stick,
Right.
because of these robbery homicide prices that these cable companies, Verizon, you included, like to charge us. So that's what's up, fellas. You know what I mean? We just sitting back, chilling, enjoying ourselves, you know what I mean? Having a good drink.
Definitely. Man.
And we here in the studios, we are practicing our social distance for those who are listening. So we don't want nobody sending emails.
3
Yeah,
different
I'm,
mics.
yo, I'm
crazy.
I'm so far away from my man's and my
Yo,
brother, man.
that's
like,
what's up.
It's,
Matter of
good.
fact, speaking of the social media, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on SmokeWorld50 Instagram. We actually have email, Gmail, smokeworld50@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know what we're doing, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. And, I'm going to give a shout out to my Russian brothers and sisters. They've been listening to this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Russia.
Shout out to
Добро
Russia.
пожаловать.
And the vodka.
Пожалуйста, будьте как дома, my friends.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Much love right there. So what else is going on, man? Like, you know what I mean? This whole thing is...
Well, I talked to Dre today, and Dre was like, he got off of work and started painting.
Yeah.
So he's like doing
doing a lot of
renovations at the house.
in the house, man. That we're just like remodeling the house, and we're just trying to do everything different. You know what I mean? We've lived in our house. Me and my wife lived in our house for about 5 years now, and we're just trying to do something different. She wants to switch it up, and I was trying to do like the man cave type thing when we first moved in. I was like, we're doing everything dark. Black couches, dark this, dark that, and
you got the honeydew list, basically. What
yeah,
you're trying to say.
and
you're trying to clean it up. You're trying to clean it up.
I told the wife, we're gonna do what you want to do now, and I'm gonna let you feel free and do your thing. And I don't have any complaints about it, except the work that I have to put in to make her happy at this moment.
Like I said, you got the honeydew list. You're trying to clean it up.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like to me.
For me, I just been
You put the word man cave in this to try to clean it up, folks.
Yeah.
I
is
just
what it
been
is.
cooking a little more. I got an idea for a brisket in my mind, and I want like a traditional briskety, barbecue-y taste without the sauce.
Right.
I think I'm gonna
sound
do
pretty
like
good.
I think I'm gonna do like a honey barbecue jalapeno pineapple
Dang,
brisket
okay.
for the holiday, because the Memorial Day weekend's coming up.
Yeah, how
So,
about that? How about that?
It's just, and it's different. We used to look forward to large family gatherings. I come from a large family. We have about, I want to say no lie, about 50 cousins. Because we
Big
have a
family.
large family, and we
50
norm.
cousins?
Oh
Wow,
my
man.
goodness, it's just crazy.
Sure they all related, man?
All
Come on, man.
related, all related, and some of them, we grew up together, so you know how we do. If you grew up with us, you family, So, it's just a little bit different. It's somewhat, like wow. Remember when we just had everybody? So just trying to have some level of normalcy again. Probably gonna get some crab legs. I've been having this ideal about lobster, like a grilled lobster. Do like a chipotle butter sriracha type mix for the lobster and some shrimp.
Right.
So just trying to, again, go to all the things that make you happy. Crack a brew or two, smoke a cigar while you grilling.
Yeah.
Back down memory lane, like like it
Absolutely.
used to be.
Absolutely.
How we used to do it.
Absolutely.
I already know how my brew do. You know what I mean? I don't do too much of seafood of anything, but I already know I can count on that chicken.
Right.
Any day.
Hold on.
just
So-
chicken, yeah.
So you're allergic to seafood? Is that what you're saying? Or you
I'm
just
not-
don't like
I'm-
seafood?
No. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not allergic to it at
What?
all.
Right.
A black
I
guy who don't like crabs and shrimp?
No. Like when I was younger, I definitely ate it.
Right.
But now that I'm older, my taste buds have changed.
Man, you're like 20 years old, dog. What you telling me now?
No,
Come
I'm
on,
like
man.
36 years old.
Come on,
so,
man.
And I don't.
Like he old
I
man.
can't do it. Like I don't know. That's just me. But I like chicken. I like.
Oh, you like the
turkey
chicken. You want your
and
fried
beef.
chicken.
Yeah.
A couple
give
days
me-
ago,
need some chicken.
a couple days ago, I took 3 Cornish hens, rubbed them down. I'm sorry. What I did was I put them in ginger beer. So I broke all the bones on purpose versus cutting them.
Right.
To kind of bruise the marrow that's in the bones. Rubbed them down with ginger beer first, salt and pepper, and then I put jerk seasoning on them.
Right.
And just smoked them off. And then I took Hawaiian rolls and made sliders.
Ooh,
I made
dang,
jerk
okay.
chicken
Sounds
sliders
lovely.
on the Hawaiian
This guy
rolls.
Can I have
sound like
some
he
now,
know what
bro?
he's talking
I
about.
want some now.
Right.
Like that sounds so good right now.
Yo,
Like,
let me ask. How about that?
So I'm
let
a
me
fat
ask a
boy.
question.
I'm coming over.
Why is it after you finish drinking that you get so hungry? What is that all about? I don't,
Man,
you know what I mean?
don't know. You
Is
got
there
to feed the
some-
liquor.
Yeah, you got to feed
that
the
what that
liquor
is?
and put you on a
Yeah.
vibe.
Like,
you know,
damn. After you finish drinking and smoking at the lounge,
Mm-hmm.
12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whenever time it is, you need something to eat.
Normally it's pizza, but shout out to Plum Pit Caterers.
Oh, yeah.
Who
Plum
own the
Pit.
chicken spot down in the city off of
Ugh.
10th and Orange. They have a food truck right up the street from the lounge. They always do empanadas. So they got jerk chicken empanadas.
Yes.
They have cheesesteak empanadas.
You ain't bring none of that with you?
I know, right?
Oh, exactly.
Bubby, my buddy, he normally does like a
Who do the jerk chicken like that, man?
Yo,
Come
them
blaze
jerk
the
chicken
place.
empanadas be everything in the late night.
Last November, Bub did a smoked turkey
Right.
dressing and cranberry remoulade empanada. When I tell you, like, he sold out of them things so quick, and I think he said he had like 12 dozen empanadas sold out quick. But it's all. I think when you drink, it's like, oh man, I need something on my stomach.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Right.
I don't know, but everybody gets that craving.
I'm going to
You
get
need
it.
something to eat.
I need that right
Drinking.
now.
Some dough, some chicken, especially chicken wings.
Yo, chicken wings,
Oh,
fries.
Yes.
We got
I'm
something
all
going
about
on.
it.
Summer 09, summer 08, I said I got to stop doing this. I was literally, too inebriated. I shouldn't have probably been driving, but I went to Kennedy.
we ain't gonna
Fried-
tell nobody.
I went to Kennedy Fried Chicken and bought a six-piece wing box and fries, and I can't remember eating it. All I remember was like,
You don't remember eating it?
yeah, gone, literally gone, fried hard.
But you don't recall eating it.
I don't recall eating it.
Man,
Oh, wow.
me,
It was gone. I
That's
looked at the
gangsta.
box
on a late night,
bones.
on a drunk night,
Box,
man,
bones.
I'm going straight to Checkers.
Oh, Checkers.
I'm getting me a double spicy chicken sandwich
Wow.
with the crispy fries they make fresh.
And see, the funny part is
Yeah.
I'm the
All
larger
that.
guy, so that sounds like my sandwich, and Andre's the
Yo,
smaller guy.
Now listen, I ain't got nothing
Yeah.
against Checkers, but seem like Checkers and Roy Rogers give you the poopy doopies.
Oh no, I'm
You know what I'm
sorry,
saying?
yo. On
Poopy
late
doopy
night on some
production,
Checkers,
Jones, man.
Old grease, old grease.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
You
Get
have
poopy
to
doopy
try it on
productions.
a late night. I swear, yo. I ain't lying.
Yo, so it's funny. I mean, like, one thing I've learned as I've gotten older with partaking of alcohol, I just try to drink a lot
don't
more
say.
water. I mean, you just gotta
Yes,
really
you must drink your
be
water to keep your
responsible.
body
Be
flush.
responsible. Drink your water. Hydrate. And for people who have, my hangover remedy is Coco Loco. Coco Loco coconut water.
Coconut
you get
water.
the straight coconut water.
Yo,
pop
hold
2
on. All right,
Advil.
let me stop you right there. Okay, because we all grew up in the hood, bro. There was no cocoa water,
Nope.
coconut water
Nope.
in the hood, dog.
But see, here's what
you
happens.
either drank right out the goddamn hose. So
Look,
where you getting coconut? Now you got all
Dash
fancy.
In, 7-Eleven,
Right.
Wawa, Royal Farms, they all have Coco Loco. It looks like a small child juice box.
Right.
But they have Coco Loco. Now, I would suggest that you get the regular coconut water, not the one with the pineapple, because for some reason, with the sugar content from the pineapple, it doesn't help you. It
Right.
actually makes it worse. But if you get that straight coconut water, take 2 Advil or Aleve or Tylenol, whatever you like, it's not so
See,
bad.
now
in the
y'all know
morning.
y'all drinking too much if you gotta do all that. You
Right.
gotta
No.
take, you gotta start taking leaves
My hangover
and
remedy.
Advils. Come on, son.
Yo,
Just
my
drink some straight tap water. And how about just not drink
Nah, I
that
can't.
much?
I
How about we
can't.
just do that?
I
How about
can't.
you know what I mean? You actually be responsible.
Well, you know,
and
Stone-
not drink all crazy when now you need to be taking Advils and all kind of
Every
medical.
good sip tastes like
You
another
sound like
good
Donald
sip.
Trump right
No,
now.
for real.
I'm
Like,
taking
I'm being honest.
I'm taking
Like,
a hydrochloroquine to keep the COVID off of me.
What I won't be doing is
No.
taking bleach injections. That's what I won't be doing.
Heck no.
You know, this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Now, the 3 listeners that I do have, because I mentioned the word Donald Trump, don't y'all go shutting me down and describe. But listen, let's keep it real. I'm like this. Yo, if you want to listen to what the man said, yeah, the man being Donald Trump, he told you to take some disinfectant. You want to believe that?
Yeah,
do
go
that.
ahead, kill
You want to
yourself.
drink your bleach? You do that.
Kill yourself.
I'm not knocking your hustle. If you
Me,
want to believe what he said,
I'm on
do your
OG
thing.
status. Like,
Right.
if you want to hydrate yourself and bring yourself from a hangover, I suggest Cool Blue Gatorade.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
Listen, man, they ain't sponsoring us, man. So
no,
forget
I'm
Gatorade, man.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? They need
Like,
to be sponsored. Y'all been a lot of plugs.
No,
and
for real.
They
I'm
not
I'm being
sponsoring
honest.
the program, at least not yet.
I'm not
Gatorade, holla
sponsoring
at your boy.
I'm just telling
Smoke
you.
World.
Smoke World. But listen, no, for real. Like, I've been to plenty of parties and everything and been tore up. And guess what? I drink Cool Blue Gatorade, the tall one, and it's
Sir.
brought me back to life.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I stopped past.
Only
past,
Cool Blue, not
Yes.
all the other Gatorade.
No,
How about
no,
the
no,
red,
no.
the orange?
It has to be the Cool Blue.
I stopped past the
Cool Blue
fraternity
Gatorade,
party
yes.
at UD, and they had vodka mixed with Gatorade. And I don't know who that's like putting vodka in water. Like they'll say, I need a vodka water, and I'm looking at them like, what? I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, why
What's
would you
going
do
on
that?
right now?
Vodka, water, but they had vodka in the Gatorade, so I don't know. Maybe they on to something, but I know I didn't
say
try any.
that if that what you were drinking the night before. If you were drinking vodka, drink vodka and water. If you drinking Hennessy and water, drink Hennessy and water. Or
No,
something
I'm
like
cool.
that.
What are we talking about?
I'm
right
cool.
now?
Yeah.
I don't know,
What is going
man.
on
Like,
right now? Me talking about drinking vodka.
I
and
always
water,
told like
Hennessy.
you know
Yo,
if you
we're
were
not
drinking
mixing up.
something before,
Listen, I spent
drink that with
$25,
water.
$30 on my bottle. I'm not putting a whole lot of water
Yeah,
in this
how
thing. I'm
about
just
that?
keeping it real.
Yeah,
Again,
I mean
I'm
you
the cheap
shouldn't,
guy.
but you know.
I'm just a cheap guy. You're not getting a whole lot of water putting in my drink. Listen, my man. I go to the bar. Don't be putting all the ice. Whoa, what you doing? It's like going to McDonald's and getting a sweet tea. They put a whole glass, a cup full of ice.
Yeah.
You get like a shot of iced tea.
Right.
Don't put no ice in my joint, my man.
3 sips and it's
I
gone.
am-
And you
Good.
bet not. You bet not.
You know what I mean? Get my fish sandwich. Make sure that's hot. My fries are hot. Don't put no ice in my sweet tea because I know how y'all get. You fill up the whole cup with ice,
You
and I get
disrespecting.
2 shots of sweet tea. I know
Right.
the trick.
Yeah, and
know
it's
the
full of
trick.
sugar. Certain places you go, it's like the more you go into the hood, it's like, man, please give me. I can literally take a half a cup of the sweet tea, mix it with water, equal parts, and still have regular sweet tea. Like
Right.
they make two
the
sweet
5-in-1
tea.
juice.
They added a pound of sugar in
the
that
5 in
thing
1
before
juice.
you even got it.
It's the 5-in-1 juice. You know what I mean? 5 pounds of sugar, 1 cup of water.
Kool-Aid.
You know how it is.
Yeah,
You grew up
exactly.
Like that. It was all good. So don't be hating now like you got all, once you get to a certain age.
Now you know it's
start
funny
hating.
again, like you said, Stone. I mean, that when I was younger, there was stuff that was cool. Like, man, this is really good. You know, like quarter waters was amazing.
Yes.
Now I tasted quarter water the other day, and I'm like, they just not making them the same. But no, what happened is your palate changed. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that
So-
could
You
be true
understood
too.
what
Because
you
I
were
wasn't no
getting the
broccoli
first
fan.
time.
I can eat broccoli right now because many years ago I would not come close to broccoli, mushrooms. As I got a little older,
I'm still not
Yeah.
doing mushrooms. I mean,
Yo,
yeah, mushrooms.
I'm not a big fan
I'm
of
saying I
mushrooms.
wouldn't want them near my plate.
right.
But now, I can tolerate them. I can. Okay, you got a little mushroom on the steak or a mushroom with the chicken marsala.
Yeah.
I can rock with that a
I
little
do
bit.
the mushrooms like in like a spaghetti sauce or whatever.
Oh,
If
see,
it's
that's
already in
something
there
different,
and it's like chopped up well,
Right.
then I can do it.
Right.
But if it's like bold, like the whole shroom, no, I can't do it. I feel uncomfortable because the texture, it takes me out of place.
A friend of mine said, "Yo, biting the mushrooms like you biting Play-Doh." And I looked at him.
Right.
Everybody at the table looked at him and said, "What?
You eating Play-Doh?
Biting
dog?
Play-Doh?
No.
When the last time you bit some Play-Doh? Like
Yeah,
what?"
exactly. You know what I mean?
Dude's
no,
crazy.
uncomfortable.
You say negative to the
Negative,
tip.
negative.
Negative to the
Negative.
tip. Don't do it.
I
Don't
got to
do
say
it.
the name no more, brother.
Hamburger.
So Stone, what you been doing, man?
Yeah,
Yo, you know what, man?
What you up to?
Well, for those who don't know, I don't know if I'm going to expose this because, again, they might think, he the popo. But I actually work for the state, and I'm a constable. So what is a constable in the state of Delaware is an individual who does the civil courts working for the justice of the peace. It is what it is. But I've been on call, so we've been having teleconferences every day. Annoying, irrelevant, not substance. I don't know why we have calls every day to talk about nothing. They last about 5 to 8 minutes. We talk, yeah, what's going on? Nothing's new. Nothing's changed. Okay, yeah. Anybody got anything to say? No. Okay. Thanks for coming out. Talk to you guys tomorrow. We don't need to have all that jumping off. You know what I mean? Somebody, what's that? Somebody phone ringing or that's somebody? What's
Yeah,
going on,
that,
man?
That was my.
Yo, man, come on, man.
It's
Be
on
live on
silent
the air,
right
man.
now.
We
So
can't be having
Stone,
all
I'm
that.
wondering. So as a constable, are you carrying a firearm? Or do you
Actually, in the state of Delaware, yes, we look just like the state police. Believe it or not, our uniform is very similar to the state police uniform, and we do carry firearm. We have tasers, handcuffs. We carry mace. We got our waist is too small or too big, too in the middle of the size of anything to be carrying all that stuff. I'm too old for all that right now. I'm like, I'm losing weight. My pants are falling down. They call me droops. I don't have no butt, so my pants is falling down. There's too much going on. It's too much to be carrying around, talking about kicking people out of houses. So, you know what I mean? This is not a good look for a young fella like myself.
Right.
I'm too old for this ruckus right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, folks. What are we doing here? Why are we kicking people out of houses? But that's what a constable actually does. We do evictions. We do debt summons. We actually do some of the truancies, and that's actually for the folks who don't want to send their kids to school. So we go out and look for those individuals. So we do a variety of things as a constable, but nonetheless, based on the pandemic, we basically just been on standby and something called a forthwith. A forthwith is a hearing that pretty much is an emergency hearing. And if we have to serve that, then we do have to go to work to do that. I have done a few of those since I've been out. But nonetheless, yeah, this is a job for a young man. I'm getting too old for this ruckus. I want to smoke cigars, have a drink, sit back, take a piss about 20 times a day, and keep it moving.
Right. Enjoy your life,
you
man.
You mentioned not eating broccoli when you were younger. You eat broccoli now. So what you been eating around the house?
Yo, I don't know if it's me, but it seems like every 2 hours, I'm hungry again, brother.
Yeah.
You eat something, 2 hours later, you're like, yo,
Right.
I'm hungry again. What is wrong with me?
For real?
And I'm thinking this is why all the toilet paper is not in the store, because the fact that, eating all this food,
Right.
you're going to be taking a whole bunch of poopy-doopy productions.
Right.
So that's maybe why there is no toilet paper to be found. Now, things are starting to slow down a little bit as far as to be able to get some toilet paper. So we've been going to the market. I've been seeing some toilet paper on the shelves, but about a month ago, yeah, brother, if you wasn't there at 7 o'clock in the morning,
man.
you wasn't getting no toilet paper.
Pretty crazy. My wife, he was going crazy, man. I was just like trying to figure out. She was like, we got to grab this, we got to grab that, we got to grab this. I'm like, babe, no, relax. It is not that bad. Like, no, don't feed into whatever is going on in the world.
Yeah, I think they work together.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Summer, the wintertime, they say, oh, we could have a blizzard. And all of a sudden, supermarkets are jam-packed. And
Exactly.
people buying rock salt and then no snow.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned snow. Let me ask this question, because anytime they predict a snowstorm, the bread, the eggs, and the milk is gone.
Right.
What are people doing with this? Are we making French toast? What are we making with this bread,
Hey,
eggs,
I
and milk
think it's
thing?
comfort, man. I think people buy that stuff because they know at the least if something happens, they can make something happen with those 3 ingredients.
Exactly.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, because most people
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a bunch of cereal in the house, so there goes your milk. Eggs, you can make an egg sandwich, hard-boiled eggs. If you want to
Exactly.
chop it up and put it in a salad or whatever. But, I think it's just people get anxious.
Man, I'm telling you, my wife makes a mean French toast souffle. We using all those ingredients in that souffle.
Wow.
Souffle.
Yes.
You need to
And
tell
guess
people-
what?
Whoa. You know what I mean?
She made it last week.
Hold on, sir.
And we
Hold
tore
on,
it up.
sir. Souffle.
Yes.
For those who are listening, Dre will explain
Yeah.
to you what a souffle. Can you explain to the people what that is, sir?
Hey, man, we blending
I got my
all
pinky
that
in the
up.
air right now too.
Yeah, we blending all those ingredients all into one souffle.
Souffle.
And it's soft, it's pure.
Batata frita para cortarla.
Yes,
Você pita
that.
brava, papu, e se tite mais.
That.
Você te
We
vai.
taking it all in right now, blend it up, and we are making.
So let me ask you a question. You
that.
got the souffle. You pop the souffle out of the oven, I presume,
Yes.
right? Are you putting, is it sweet already, or do you put syrup on it?
We actually add the syrup afterwards.
Okay.
We do the brown sugar,
Right.
white sugar, cane sugar is what you call it. But we adding all those into her souffle.
Okay.
And we gonna make it happen.
So I had people over at my house for brunch, and they were like, yo, what's up with this syrup? And the secret is you just take a couple pads of butter, heat the syrup up, and then put you put the
Butter,
syrup,
sugar, winning
Yeah.
combination, man.
That's just everything.
I
Butter,
do it in
sugar,
everything, even my grits,
Butter,
cream of
sugar.
wheat,
Right.
oatmeal.
Now some people slap us because we put up north we put butter and sugar in the grits.
Yeah.
And down south
You know
grits
what?
is a savory.
I-
Yeah,
I don't
it's
do
like
that.
Disrespected grits.
Now,
man.
I do
don't
put
see
butter
it.
while I'm cooking my grits. I put a little butter in to get some flavor, but I don't put any sugar in my grits.
Yeah.
Me,
don't-
I
but
I
I'm
have
saying
to
what's
put
good.
Sugar
but,
in it.
if you got pancakes and some grits, put a little syrup in your grits. Now you popping with something,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. See, my
You're a
my
pop.
kids like cream of wheat.
Right.
and
See, that's
farina.
interesting. You say that because I know some people don't eat the grits, eat the cream of wheat. I eat both.
Right.
But like I said, I haven't had cream of wheat, man.
My son's a big fan of oatmeal. He'll take regular
Oh, man.
oats,
Oatmeal every day.
honey. He'll
Every-
put honey,
every morning I
honey
eat
and fresh
oatmeal.
sugar.
And that's
fresh
That's how you know you're
everything.
getting old.
I said fresh sugar, but fresh fruit in the oatmeal, and he eat a whole bowl of oatmeal. So,
Right.
yeah. But down south, you better not put no sugar in the grits. They'll
Right.
throw you
I
out
mean,
of the
don't get me
table.
wrong. I will eat it like that.
Right.
I will. But to me, if I'm making it at home, I gotta add the sugar.
Right.
I gotta have a little sweetness to my
Right.
grits and the butter.
Just throw a little syrup on there, brother. That's all you
Exactly.
need. A little syrup is all you need. That'll take you where you need to be.
It's gonna happen.
A little syrup, folks. If you didn't
a
know,
given.
now you're getting ingredients. You're getting cooking lessons all on Smoke World.
Smoke world.
Right.
So you mean put some grits, butter, and syrup in your plate.
Right.
Because again, in about another month, you're gonna be going back to work, and you'll be looking back and like, damn, I miss staying home doing nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You
Laying in
can't
your-
knock it till you
know what
try
I
it.
mean?
baby.
Laying in your day pajamas all day, but yeah, you gonna be back to work in about another 30 days.
Hustling, bustling.
It's gonna be back.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, man, I needed this break though.
So you
I
know what's
really need this.
interesting? We talk about that. You know what normal looks like at the lounge. I mean, they are making it a state requirement for you to be in public places with a mask.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out what does that look like for people who are smoking a cigar inside.
Yo,
You definitely can't smoke a
I
cigar.
saw a
through
picture of
mask.
somebody in a magazine. I don't know if it was on magazine or social media. The guy had a hole at the mouth of the mask,
defeating
Yeah.
the whole purpose.
smoking a
Right?
It
cigar.
defeats the whole purpose, but it happened.
Bro, come on,
I've seen
son.
it too, man.
Come on,
I've seen
son.
it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
son.
I guess he's going for a fashion statement.
I don't know what he
Exactly.
was
Because
doing,
it's definitely
but I
not
know-
practical.
Right. Let's think about this. A virus. Now, a virus is a virus, and it's no different from a cold what we're dealing with. So, the virus is not necessarily jumping 6 feet. A
Right.
virus is similar to the cold again. If somebody sneezes, cough, because this is transmitted through respiratory droplets. So, if they sneeze or cough or something like that, and you come into contact and you touch the surface where this individual who may have been infected with the virus, you touch that surface, and then you put your hands in your mouth,
Or
those type of
face.
things, or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
That's how the virus is really transmitted. It's not like it's jumping 6 feet or any kind of feet to get to you. Now, there have been studies, from my understanding, that again, the respiratory viruses, spread through respiratory droplets. So, if an individual may sneeze, and you walk into that particular droplet of droplets, then okay, obviously you may contract the virus. But there was another study I heard that was crazy, that if you talk loud, I'm lost on that. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter's a nurse, and me and her had a little battle with this. If you talk loud, I'm like, everybody who talks loud don't necessarily spit. I know people who just spit on a regular when they talk,
Right.
and they're not talking loud. Now, had they just said just talking, period, you might have had me. But because if you talk loud,
right?
this respiratory droplet can last and stay in the air for 15 minutes.
Right.
What?
Propaganda and they freestyling.
Come
Right.
on,
Exactly.
man. I got a little problem with that. So I'm like, okay. And she's in there. She's like, oh, it's a science, Dad. It's a science. It's not fact. It's not opinions. It's, yeah. So we got in a little argument about that. I'm like,
Right.
I don't believe everything I hear. You know what I mean? Consider the source.
Of course.
Consider
Like
the
I
source.
feel like I actually work in the hospital field. I work at St. Francis Hospital, and that fact, we take very seriously on everything. We wear protective gear and everything that we do. But anytime I hear something like that, or if I'm near like that floor where we have COVID, I'm taking every precaution I could possibly take, because I'm not playing any games.
But
Absolutely.
I mean,
You know,
not
so-
just the protective gear, but how about, I'm a retired school teacher. Every couple of days I was taking airborne and vitamins. What about the natural things that we're supposed to do for our bodies that people have just neglected to do? To build your immune system. So just be more conscious of who you shaking hands with, and shaking hands at all.
Exactly.
And hugging and that
That
kind
might
of
be
stuff.
something of the past, man. I don't know if anyone's going to be shaking their hands. And
Yeah, you might
give
just
a hugs
dab
out
up
and-
or whatever.
Yeah, you might give an elbow shake or something like
Right.
that now. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're going to be shaking any hands
I mean, it's
anymore.
definitely going to be weird, because the fellas, we'll shake hand, and the handshake is in between them, we'll embrace or something like that. I mean, it's definitely going to be different. But, you just got to be more conscious of what you're doing and how you're doing it, I've seen people, moisten their cigar on the cap and then cut it. Well,
No, that's a violation.
Yeah,
That always was a
no,
violation.
No.
Prior to this,
I mean, so again, it's just
violation, folks. If
my
you listen
issue
to
is
this,
just-
say it again, sir. That is a violation. Do
Violation.
not, listen closely, people. Listen closely. Do not do not put the cigar in your mouth,
And then
spit
put a
it all
community-
up,
Right.
and then go asking for somebody's cutter.
Community cutter.
Go over to the community cutter.
Right.
Go to the counter to cut your cigar. That is a violation.
That's a no-no.
Put your
That's
nose on the
what we
tobacco.
call a
Nah.
nasty
no, you
bastard.
smelling cigars? No, we don't do that.
Okay?
Unsanitary.
Now you got your own cutter.
Right.
Your own
Go have
punch.
at it.
Do your
Right.
thing.
Have at it.
But do not repeat. Do not put that in your mouth. Suck it all up. Get it all wet and moist. Yo, let me get a cutter. That'd be what we call
A negative.
Get the stepping,
Right.
my man. Either you're going to pull a John Wayne and bite the tip off on your own. You're not getting a cutter.
Which I actually will be teaching a class on, is how to actually cut the cigar with your teeth without actually using a device, just for times or instances when you don't have one. Now, of course, odd tops and torpedo tops and stuff like that, you wouldn't be able to do it as easy. But other cigars, you can actually take the top off without cutting the cigar.
Yeah,
I'm glad
gotta
you
be
mentioned that
very
because
precise.
I've been getting a little feedback. Folks have been following us on social media. And we've been getting some folks who've been asking some questions in reference to, they beginner smokers, they're novice, and they want a class on that. So I'm thinking the next episode we're going to put something together to kind of assist and instruct the new cigar smoker on some of the etiquettes and some of the things, the do's and don'ts. And one of the things you just heard that you don't do is stick the cigar in your mouth,
Yeah.
get it all spitty, and then tell them you need to cut the cigar with somebody else's cutter.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're going to put something together in the future to assist. And again, we hear you folks. We appreciate you listening. We're going to actually put an episode together, a Cigar 101, where you actually can learn some of the things, the do's and don'ts of cigar smoking. And there is
Absolutely,
do's and don'ts to cigar smoking, like
Basic
everything else in
etiquette.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's a proper etiquette to it. When you start to see these faux pas of things that people aren't supposed to do, it's almost like the music stops. It's like,
Yeah,
did
exactly.
you just do
Right.
that? And I mean, you're faced with the option of saying something or not saying something, and it's just
Folks,
you immediately stand
please stand up. With a real police shady, please stand up.
Right.
Listen, you see somebody doing that, I don't care if you just got started smoking that day. Excuse me, ma'am, sir.
out. Right.
No, you can't use my cutter, but I don't
Right.
think you should be using anyone else's cutter because you just put that in your mouth, you nasty bastard.
Right.
Come on, man.
Or you just put your nose all on a cigar and you want
That's another
somebody else
thing.
to pick
yeah,
that up.
what's
Goodness.
going on? Now I know y'all watch a lot of movies and you see people taking a cigar, sticking it in their
but that
smells.
those people
like
that you see is
wine.
their cigar. They've already owned it.
That's fine, but don't go
Yeah,
into the
but if
shop
you don't
Right.
own it,
picking up cigars, sniffing them,
Yeah, you sniff it, you
putting
own it,
boogies on it, and
Yeah.
talking about, oh wow, this
and then
smells like
try
the
to
other-
put it back.
This smells like the other cigar just smelled. I don't smell any different. Man, we just bought 2 of those cigars.
And not to knock anybody who smells cigars, but you have to have a real finite palate to go in a humidor full of 100 cigars or more and smell it and actually be able to say something that you smell. Because really what you smell is a culmination of the whole room. You're not necessarily smelling that particular tobacco.
Hello.
Right.
And especially through the cellophane.
Hello.
I mean,
You ain't smelling nothing. Just keep it real, brother. You're
because
not
it's all
smelling
in
nothing.
my head.
Right.
Must be in my mind, baby. I'm smelling cigars.
Yeah, definitely not.
driving fancy cars.
Yeah, no.
Negative. Get the
Negative.
stepping. Get
Yeah.
the stepping.
And definitely don't ask to share anyone's cigar. I mean, the proper
Yo.
thing to
Yeah.
do if someone says, "Hey, man, that smells nice," the proper thing to do, and this is why smoking cigars isn't a cheap man or woman's hobby, is the proper thing to do is actually to offer them one or to buy them one. But puffing on each other's cigars,
Say it again.
yeah, we're not.
By
doing
who?
that.
What?
Yeah,
Man,
Listen,
I've had a few people, ask me, "Yo, can I smoke that? Can I puff that?" And I'm just looking at them like,
What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No,
Yo,
I'm not
again,
letting
folks,
you puff my cigar.
That'd be
another
another
negative.
violation. I was at a lounge
It is
once.
so uncomfortable. I'm
Some
like,
guy
no.
came in there. We smoking cigars. He was smoking cigarettes, so that was the first violation.
Wow.
He looking around. Hey, that smell nice. I said, yeah. What you smoking? Whatever it was. Can I try that? Sure, you can. You go buy your own. You're not smoking mine, my man. You don't think? Come on, man. I don't even
Right.
know you, dude. Why would you even think that was cool to come out your face with? Can you try my cigar?
Right.
Folks, this is why we need the class.
Right.
This is why this ain't back in the day we passing the 40 around. Everybody put 50 cents into the 40. Them days is over. It was long over. I really wasn't down with it back then. Cats smoking weed, put the whole thing in their mouth, suck it up. Yo, light it up. Huh?
Blaze. Nah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
If that's what you like to do, you do you, boo.
Man, another no, man, is like I see people finish with their cigars and they do this cigarette smash the butt ash type thing, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
You don't
I
know.
mean,
Just let that
be
thing
honest,
go
I had to
out.
learn that myself.
Right.
I had to learn it myself, but what I've learned from that, just let it burn out.
It'll burn
by
out.
itself.
That's
Yes.
it.
it'll burn out by
Drop it in
itself.
an ashtray and let it do its
Respect
thing.
the cigar, man.
Don't stink
Right.
the place
Respect
up because
it.
actually that
Put
makes
some
the
respect
cigar
on it.
smoke. Just drop it in the ashtray. It will go out on its own, people.
Yeah.
We appreciate you trying to look out and say, hey, we too fight fires, but let the cigar go out.
Somebody
on its
came
own.
to me and said, "Hey, my cigar is cracking." I'm said, "Well, if you realize that you were banging it on the ashtray, trying to get the ash off. I call it the trumpet. You hold it with your thumb and your pointer finger, and you use the rest of your fingers to just knock the ash off. If the ash does not come off that way, it's not ready for the ash to drop.
Hello.
Right.
Like, don't bang it. It's going to
not
crack.
ready yet.
Somebody lights you up and bang you on the rim of something.
It's not
Exactly.
ready yet.
Exactly.
It's not ready.
I tell people the rule of thumb about an inch, an inch and a half, the cigar ash should be ready to come off.
Ash comes off on its own. I understand, folks.
Correct.
I mean, it depends on where you're at. It's just some etiquette. If you're somewhere, obviously, if you're smoking in your car, you don't want ashes all in your car. So, you would try to flick that ash. But the ash would normally and naturally fall when it's ready to fall.
I had to
Simple as
learn that
that.
the hard way. I'm being honest.
Aaron wearing an ash outfit.
Exactly.
Like,
I would sit there and I'm trying to get the longest ash I could possibly get, and next thing you know, I'm wearing it,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
I tell people all the time to hold that extra ash. You want fresh air flow through your cigar. So to actually hold the ash, you're actually smoking some over smoked tobacco and new. So you're not getting a very purified taste
Right.
of the tobacco. So drop the ash at a reasonable time and get some fresh air flow through it.
And keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
exactly.
Keep it moving.
You're actually supposed to have a cool smoke. If you can't come up near the amber of the cigar without burning yourself, you're smoking it too fast.
Now you're throwing a little
Right.
throwing cigar jargon out there, folks. Folks don't know what all that means. Amber.
You're gonna learn today.
You're going to learn on the next one.
Yeah.
Going to learn on the next one. Woo. Yo, we're going to put that together for you, people. We've been listening to you. I got the emails. You want a class. You want an episode on Cigar 101. We're going to bring that to you. We're definitely going to do that.
Definitely.
We're listening to you, folks. We appreciate you listening. But look, fellas, you know what I mean? We've been bugging out for about, 48 minutes here now.
Cool.
So that's what's up, folks. We appreciate you listening to another episode of
Stone, thanks, man. Stone, appreciate you.
Fellas, I
Smoke
appreciate
World.
y'all coming through, man. Much love. We're going to see you on the next side, folks. Take care, be safe, and peace.
Love of the leaf, the grape, and the
Oh,
peat.
so double.
Peace out.